Earbuds Podcast, presented by Headliner Music Club.
Welcome to the Earbuds Podcast, show number 6, and it's spring, so this is it's always a joyous time. Is joyous a word? I don't know if it is, but it
joyous
right.
is a word.
Joyous is a word. Okay, cool. It's this joyous time. Spring, the birds and the bees are doing their thing, and the flowers are coming up. Guys, I prepared this whole thing, I'm really excited about spring, especially coming from Chicago where, it was brick for a few months. Now we're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes. That's all I got to say. Anyway.
Yeah, Chicago was a great spring, summer, fall town, so happy for you.
Yeah, we're really big on allergies.
You're experiencing a brickless Chicago, huh?
Dude, it's amazing. It's been 70 some degrees outside, and dude, it's just, we finally made it. I mean, it wasn't that cold to begin with, but it's just knowing that we're not going to get a snowstorm and shit on us. It feels a lot better. And then the city just comes alive as soon as we know that winter's over with. Everyone's out, everyone's partying. What do you
mean? It's like in the 40s and 30s this weekend in Milwaukee. Isn't it like close to you guys?
Yeah, but Milwaukee's further north. It's an hour and a half north, so that's.
I feel like you're happy with 40 also. Like
that's
you live in Chicago.
Dude, I'm wearing shorts. Hey, just so you know, I wear shorts all year long. Like that's just.
Hey, lift that leg a little higher. Let's see that.
See the leg over here?
The old bat wing. Just kidding.
Someone called me. Someone's like, dude. Someone told me they're like, you're like a fat guy. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, you just wear shorts all the time. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? They're like, like the fat guys just can wear shorts because they can't feel their legs. I'm like, I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what that's apparently what
you're about to get canceled by the fat guys.
I didn't say it. Somebody told me that. I support it. I support shorts in the winter. Okay. Well, guys, welcome to the podcast presented by Headliner Music Club. As you can see, or if you can hear the fourth voice, is we have a special guest, Cazes from Miami. So welcome to the show. I would clap, but I'm holding my microphone. Yeah. Hey, man. So good to get you here. We just a quick little rundown of what we got coming up. We got the chart toppers, of course, Sneaky Slappers featuring Kanye West. We have a sticky situation of how to bring back a dance floor. So if you fuck up, we're going to help you bring it back. And a new segment called Ones to Watch, because Neil likes to throw in segments that we've never even talked about in the past, but he's like, hey, you should do this. And now we have a new
here
segment
to try and make this show better.
And more difficult for me because I have no idea how we're going to do this, but we're going to make it work. Okay, really quick before we get into everything, big shout out to Nova, because I promised him I'll shout him out, and DJ Quad. You guys got anybody else that you want to say what's up to?
5.
I want to get a shout out to Woody, man.
Yeah, Woody. I've seen Woody a few times today.
Oh god,
my dog Woody. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Should we tell people that story, or should we just?
You kind of have to now.
Now the simple fact that you brought that part up, now we have to tell a story.
Yeah.
So the Woody situation, just so you guys know, we'll keep it really short. And
the Woody situation.
Neil had to go to the bathroom at least like 6 times in the last. We've been on for 40 minutes or something.
Yeah, I've got like a 90-year-old bladder.
Neil runs off and goes, yo, Neil's like, hey, I gotta use the bathroom. I'm like, all right, cool, we'll be here. He runs back and he's like, hey, 5, Woody says hi. And they're like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm sitting here, and then 5 goes, oh shit, tell Woody what's up. Yeah, I miss that guy. I'm like, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't know if that's a code word for something or what that means, but no one caught it, and I had to bring that up, and it was just kind of, I had questions. But,
the funny thing is after you told that story just now, it only made me think, why did I think of Woody while peeing? Is the weird part about it.
But Woody's a real person, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Woody's a real person, though, is what you're trying to get at, right?
Yes. Woody is one of our people. One of our people for sure.
We did a lot of hikes during COVID with Woody.
Okay.
Big shout out to Oyster.
Yeah.
So
just a miscommunication in the beginning of the podcast, but we figured out. So big shout out to Woody, the real one. And so let's just go around. 5, I know you were in Boston. How was that? You've been hopping to the East Coast, which is a
Boston
long
was
trek.
Freezing, but the party was hype. Boston's
Best
always
city.
like,
It's the best city.
They fucking rage. It was a younger crowd, a lot of sing-alongs, a lot of newer rap. Carnival, big song. The fart song was big.
The fart song worked?
Yeah.
I don't get that big of a reaction from fart song.
Yeah, man. Fart song into I Don't Care. Big.
What's
big
I Don't Care?
Icon of pop. A lot of sing-alongs, but yeah, a lot of sing-alongs in Boston, and then I went into an R&B set too, like a classic R&B set. Keisha Cole Love, Can We Talk? That whole like just.
Does hip hop go over really well? And every time I play in Boston,
Yeah.
it's basically like big room.
At Mario Underground, it's a younger crowd, so like, and Latin music works a lot, like works good too. So
Oh, I found that out too. So apparently Boston has a huge influx of like, I think Latin, like Portuguese and like like there's
Brazilian does
I don't know.
really well.
Yeah,
at Baile
yeah,
Funk.
there's like, and I didn't understand that because we don't have really much of that here in Chicago. So seeing that there's a huge Latin market out there,
yeah. I did
was kind of shocking. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did a little Baile Funk set too, you know. And then
Do you play any Afrobeat or I'm a piano out in the East? Like I know New York does it, but
I do it in Boston too.
yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I
you
do a
guys
lot of
play
it
at the
in
same
Boston.
spot, right? You guys play
Yeah.
at that? Okay. Because me and
Yeah, I
Cazes,
played,
I think we do the other, we do.
Yeah, I do Grand and Memoir there.
Grand and Memoir, and they pretty much we play like EDM.
Big room, right? Yeah.
Big-
Yeah, I mean, you can drop into like hip hop pockets, but they definitely want to like rage there. Like that's just all
exactly,
they want.
yeah.
It's like 2 hours. By the end of it, you're like sweating and exhausted. And
Boston's
they
such
love
a
it.
crazy market too, because I think they get an influx of, I think over 100,000 people, or maybe more than that. Maybe it's like 300,000. I forgot the number, but it's a crazy number during the school year because there's so many universities and college,
there.
and,
Yeah.
whatever there. So
Yeah.
it's like during the summer, it's technically a little bit slower, but during the winter months of the colleges, it's
Oh yeah, no,
crazy.
It was wild.
cracking. Neil, you were doing an SNL after party. I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to say that, but
damn, that's sick.
is that
Yeah, I
cool?
did,
Can we say it?
That's sick.
I mean, we're saying it. We're saying it, so we might as well find out later.
Yeah.
I did do the SNL after party. It's that's definitely been on my like New York bucket list. Like the SNL after party is like one of those things where I thought it was a myth, to be honest, and I actually thought it was done with. But even since the beginning of SNL, that was like, you know, John Belushi like overdosed,
Yeah.
and like you hear about all these stories back in the 80s and 90s and stuff. And I actually got the opportunity to do the one with Sydney Sweeney from
Sick.
Euphoria.
Wow.
That's sick.
Yeah.
It's a good one to land on.
Oh my god. I actually
Wait.
Hey, speaking of Woody,
Okay.
so yeah, I did the one with Sydney Sweeney. Sydney
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney
Yeah.
Sweeney.
Hopefully you didn't
And
talk
it
to her.
Oh no, I was in a treehouse DJ booth, so but there was like it looked like about 350, 400 people in there in this bar.
Did you
and
see
they were
her?
just raging. I didn't see her, but I imagine it's probably where like there was like this big crowd that was kind of moving around like in like a circle, and it wasn't a breakdance battle. So it was just a circle and they were just kind of like moving around. So I imagine that was probably her, but later on, like some of the media outlets were snapping photos of her walking out.
Damn.
So that was pretty exciting. I mean, I played everything from like disco, Afrobeat, hood stuff,
Do they
tech
dance?
house. Yeah,
Do they
they were
dance?
raging because essentially it's the whole the whole cast. I mean, it was the cast and crew. I mean, I think the only cast member was oh my god,
Kenan Thompson.
I want to say yes, Kenan Thompson.
He goes out
Yeah.
every night.
Yeah,
He don't miss
So-
a
So
ball.
do this party for every episode?
yeah.
Like, oh wow.
Well, yes, but the crowds fluctuate. This one was like a
Yeah.
really big one, but it goes on from like it's from 4 o'clock to 7 a.m.
Because the show's done at 1 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Out
So they have
there,
to
it's
pack
one-
up, and like the whole crew comes out and just goes ballistic. People
That's
standing
pretty
on
awesome.
couches. It was like probably the more lit nightclub than nightclubs. Like,
But you can't. It's not open to the public. It's a hidden
No.
thing. It's secretive. They pick different locations every time. And like,
yeah, it moves
that's why
around.
I was like,
They
I
have
don't know if I'm.
passwords.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if I was able to speak on that because I know it's how secretive it is. So I didn't know if someone was gonna, throw a dart in my neck as I'm talking about it. But I wanted to just bring it up because I think that's a pretty awesome, thing that you were able to do.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that there's like a list of things when I moved to New York that I was like, I need to do this. Like DJing Madison Square Garden, doing the SNL thing was on my list. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
that is the most New York shit you can do.
Damn, that's on
Very
the list
cool.
now too.
Well,
That's not sick.
I was in London. I was celebrating my birthday out there, and that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But
Happy belated.
Thanks, man.
Happy
Thank you.
belated.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I noticed that London is a different world compared to what we have going on here. The streets on a Friday, Saturday night, you can't even walk on them. There's that many people, lines around every single pub and nightclub, and it's just, and the diversity in that city is just wild compared to anything here in the States. I mean, maybe Miami is pretty diverse, but the crowds were just like, I've been to London a few times and I've played out there, and I haven't been there since the pandemic. Oh no, I have, but I didn't go out. But going out on a Friday, Saturday night was just like, you legitimately could not walk on the sidewalks. I mean, they're more narrow sidewalks. It's an older city, but it is just packed with people. The energy's crazy. And I went to go see Friction over at one of his spots, and it was just like the different types of music he's playing is just, it's just world music. It's not even like,
Friction's dope.
I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, if you don't go there and do research or do homework before you come out there or listen to this podcast, you're going to be so like stuck, because there were so many records where I'm like, I don't even know what this is, and everyone's singing along to it like it's been an anthem, or it's like, like when you play a Taylor Swift record here, everyone's singing along or some shit. Out there, everyone's singing the I'm a Piano songs or an Afrobeat record. I'm like,
I feel like they're just more like open to stuff.
I think the culture is different. I mean, the room is, you're getting people from from Africa in there, like you're getting people from Asia, like a big Indian population in there. You get a few white people in there. It's just really mixed, and it's just one of those cities that I think that you can get away with a lot, but also if you don't know what you're doing, like going in there playing these records, be like, oh, this is big in the States, you're gonna get fucked. It's just like some things I'm just like, how is this working, or how is this not working? But that was
definitely jamming a lot when I was out there and saw Friction. I was like, dude, what is he like? What is this? What is
yeah
this? And it's like years and years ago.
Yeah, we're gonna get Friction on the podcast. I talked to him because I was like, dude, I don't know anything. I know 3 records you played.
Is there still like a lot of the grime hip hop stuff is still like popping off there?
Like you're talking about like the UK drill music?
Yeah,
like
the UK stuff.
You know what? I think it does. I think the room that we were in was playing more. But the crazy thing is, like, I go, do you play EDM? Because it's an open format room, and he's going, yeah, well, that's on Friday night, not Saturdays here. And Saturdays was just basically hip hop and like pop music, like, and I'm saying like commercial sing along pop, like, but no EDM, no drops, no remixes. It was just strictly flying through records. But the songs that went off the most were the I'm a Piano songs, and I'm like, if you're just listening to that shit in your car or just wherever, you're gonna be like, this is so slow, but the energy was just bonkers.
Yeah, it like, because it like keeps building as you play it. Like, I feel like that's what people think when they hear like some house stuff too. But if you're like in a room that's playing all that stuff and you're there for an hour and it just like builds and builds and builds, you like have that crazy moment. I feel like that's what's happening with like the I'm a Piano stuff.
Yeah, they know it. People know it, and they sing along to it, so it becomes everyone's favorite song. And they're like, I was, it's pretty mind-boggling
too.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. No, London was a vibe. Cazes, you are in the middle of spring break right now in Miami.
Yeah, so they tried to cancel spring break in Miami, but it's definitely still happening. I can
they try to cancel it?
Spring break happened.
That's so weird.
Why would they try to cancel it?
It gets super rowdy, and it was kind of like bringing a crowd that they didn't want on the beach. The beach in general over the past couple of years has tried to change and put curfews in and stuff like that, where like the city is just like whatever you want, 11 space, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But I played on Wednesday. I did live with Pauly D, which was awesome. He kills it, man. He's always good, but with that crowd, he's so good.
Is it is this strictly college kids you're saying, right?
I mean, it is, but still, like, a lot of Miami people are out. I mean, obviously, like, promoters are out, so just normal girls around here are out in general.
But is Live open on a Wednesday normally?
No.
Okay, so they're kind of catering to more of the spring break.
Yeah. So they opened last week, this week, and I think next week also on Wednesday, which they usually don't do. It's usually just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I did Strawberry Moon also last week with Loud Luxury, who's like, they're great with the college crowd too. Yeah. They just rip it, play everything.
Yes. Saw you guys' videos. Yeah, they have like an edit for every sing-along. And
dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
But they just did a country project too, right? Or they did something with Loud Luxury. I could have sworn that they did some sort of like a country. I'm seeing more and more of this like EDM stuff.
Like a EDM. They might have done like a EDM mix kind of thing. They played. I mean, dude, they played like 20 minutes of that stuff, and it was like, you would think after like the first 3 or 4 songs, like people would kind of like not be interested, but it went on for like 20 minutes, and like people were loving it.
I think the country, that EDM is kind of turning into more of a movement, and I don't know if I'm like really prepared for it, or if it's just something that
Diplo just posted that he has his own stage.
Yeah, they gave him all of that Stagecoach DJ stage. It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that. He like pumped it with all of his boys and
he programmed it all.
I've DJed Stagecoach like 4 years ago, and I noticed that was the first year he did it, and that was when Lil Nas X came out and everything. But they had some DJ like tent there, and when I was like listening to some of the other guys playing, it's not really country music. It's like they'll play one country record for 4 hip hop records or something like that. Like, it's not, when people get intimidated when they're like, yo, can you do a country set? It's like, yeah, but it's not, the people listening to country don't want straight country the whole time. It's very,
I watched his, cause he put a video out last year when he did it, and it was like stuff like you'd hear like AC/DC, and like, it was just like a party rock kind of country stuff mixed in, a couple drops. Like it's definitely not a country set.
Yeah, it's not strictly country, but so it's welcoming to like everybody if you just want to get down. You want to get down and boogie right now?
I mean, country alone is kind of, it's drifting off into pop now anyway.
100%.
Makes sense.
Do you guys play country in New York or Los Angeles? Because like in the Midwest, like we're pretty much, that's, there's a lot of country out here.
It's starting to bubble up here, like, with Beyonce's song, and why am I drawing a blank? Like Last Night and all that stuff is starting to like bubble up here, but it has to be like super obvious.
But do you guys have a lot of you don't have any country like nightclubs or anything like that?
There was a nightclub that was actually recently I don't know if it's still happening. I think it's on at PhD on Wednesdays, and I think they're doing a country night, but it's like not all country, but they're fusing a lot of it in there. So
we have a lot of country festivals and stuff like that over here. I'm not sure.
Windy City. Yeah.
So it makes sense that EDM is like starting to really blow up.
Yeah, it's situational for sure. It like depends where you are, which city you're in. Like, I mean, like I play like Nashville, and Nashville loves that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like you can play 2 hours of EDM there, and they'll be with you the whole time.
I just
but
wonder how
obviously,
that translates.
Miami, like we're not doing that.
Yeah, I wonder if that translates to other places.
Yeah,
but
LA, there's a few country nights. actually. So like I think Poppy has one.
Oh, so that
Yeah, in
it's
the
a real
regular
thing out there.
nightclubs.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then like
That's crazy.
Desert 5 over here has one. Like, but yeah, they're around. I know.
Oh, I didn't know that existed at all in LA. Wow.
Oh yeah, that's been going on for a little while.
Yeah, I did a country night for a birthday. Our boy Tyler. Shout out to Tyler Dickinson. I did his birthday. And it was a country theme. So
No shit.
Yeah, I'm getting requests for country.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, now we're.
I just check. I don't even have that Beyonce song in my laptop.
Well, hey, we're gonna cover that in the next section, actually. All right, guys. The charts. We're gonna go over the charts real quick. HMC charts. Let's just go through them. James Hype, and it's the drums beat breaker. Yes, indeed. Edit, which is number 1 right now. So big shout out to beat breaker.
Beat breaker always has the number 1 spot. Kills it.
Yes.
Always. He owns it.
Is he paying somebody over there like Scratchy? Is he getting like?
Nah, man.
He's just the
natural,
man.
Yes.
He's just the
Natural.
man.
No, I'm not knocking it. It's great. It's just
I'm just wondering if Beat Breaker's like, all right, let me just go crank out a number 1 real quick.
dog. Yeah, it's just like it's
based on downloads.
Every week,
Dude.
man.
So
like,
yeah, so
yo, let me
He's a
knock this number
household.
1 out.
He's a household name, you know. So
you just gotta know not to put edits out the same week Beat Breaker's putting his edit pack out because you're gonna get smoked. All right, we got. Speaking of good editors, we got Rick Wonder. Big shout out to Rick. He's got number 2 with Promiscuous. I love Rick. Rick is a homie. Rick's got also number 3 with Tokyo Drift. We have Burnout. I still don't know how to say that guy's name. Is it Burnout?
Yeah, Burnout.
Okay.
He's a dope
Sexy
remixer.
Bitch. Yeah, sexy.
Yeah.
He's really good. I've shouted him out 50 times, but I've been insulting him because I don't know how to say his name properly. So hopefully he doesn't kick me in the dick when he sees me out live. Sexy
In the
Bitch.
Woody?
Yeah, it kicks me right in the Woody. Sexy Bitch is number 4. Number 5, Come and Get Her by Beat Breaker again. And Mobama, Yeah Me Too. Carnival Edit is number 6, which I actually like that one a lot. Ballin' HMC 2024 Edit, DJ Mustard record. Runaway, Rick Wonder. Man, this whole thing is like Rick and like Beat Breaker just
Crazy.
going head to head.
And they're friends too.
They talk to each other?
They have like they're longtime friends.
Yeah, a bit like
Wow.
New York guys. Yeah.
I bet they like sit there and talk like, all right, man, you get number 1 here, and then I'll just do like 3 to 8.
This is wild. Yeah, every edit. Okay, Ellie Goulding, by SH8K. Please tell me somebody how to pronounce that one.
I don't know, but I know he's cool producer too. He's from LA, I think. I have
Nice.
some stuff. He's cool.
Shake.
Shake.
oh, it's Shake. Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Is it
from
Shake?
San Diego. Yeah.
Oh, San Diego, not LA. I knew it was Cali.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lights Shake 2024 remix, and then One Republic, If I Lose Myself, the Rick Wonder. So Rick's on there again. So big shout out to everyone that's on the charts and play those records because they're really good. All right, moving on to the Billboard
good.
top charts. Billboard, here we go. All right, Carnival, Kanye. That is just, when I did this, just for reference, when I did this whole thing, I think Beyonce, Texas Hold'em was number 1, and as of today, Kanye Carnival is taking the charts. But Texas Hold'em, I think, is a pretty big record. If you guys are not playing that, or if you are playing it, is anyone playing that record? Yay or nay?
I haven't.
I have not.
I've been playing remixes and edits like in support sets, and it works pretty well. There's a really good edit that it's Texas Hold'em with, it's like a Purple Disco Machine song, and I heard it on Diplo's Revolution and went and found it on SoundCloud. It had maybe like under 1,000 plays when I downloaded it.
Oh shit.
No shit.
The guy's name is like Matt Suave, or I don't even know how to pronounce it honestly, but that one, it works well. It's worked pretty well. I haven't played the original song though.
Well, shout out to Matt with the
Suave
Texas
or
Hold'em.
something.
Just
Yeah.
just Matt. We'll just call him Matt. Matt has some dope remixes. All
Yeah,
right,
it's a
so
good edit.
we also have Teddy Swims. I'm not sure if that's even relevant to play out. Jack Harlow, number 3. Benson Boone at number 4. Tate McRae. Greedy's still holding it at number 6. Number
So it's
7.
Crazy.
Number 7 is I Remember Everything. SZA Snooze at number 8. Doja Cat, Agora Hills at number 9. Taylor Swift, Cruel Summer at number 10. There's not been a lot of movement in the last
Yeah, it
month.
hasn't changed at all besides Carnival.
Yeah.
Carnival is the only thing that I think last time we talked with Shabazz, we were talking about was a Do It record. What was the record?
Yeah,
that-
do it.
Do It was the one we all thought. We're like, oh shit, Do It. You got to play Do It. But Carnival, I think that
it's kind of being owned by like pop stuff right now. I feel like Greedy and the top 10.
Yeah, it's
Taylor
but they're
Swift.
old. Yeah, but they're old. Like these are not. There's Taylor's. This record has been on the charts for 44 weeks. So
The Cruel Summer one, right?
Yeah, and then Snooze
it's
by
crazy.
SZA 64 weeks. Like these are not moving. There's not a lot of new entries. Let's just put it that way. So if you're downloading music, don't feel bad if you're not getting anything new because there ain't a lot of new shit out. TikTok charts real quick. Carnival again at number 1. So Carnival's people are doing dances to it. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, whatever. Before TikTok gets banned, play Carnival, I guess. Bobby Caldwell, what you won't do for love.
Wow.
You don't know that song?
I do.
You don't know that song?
Is it? Oh, it's an old song, right?
What
I don't think I know
do
it.
for love. No?
Wait, sing it again,
I
Neil.
don't think so. Yeah, sing it
I'm
one more
not
time,
doing
Neil.
What you won't do. Do for love.
Okay.
How old is it? When did it come out?
Cazes, I don't think you were born then yet.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's I don't know, man. Let's
Bobby
look
Caldwell.
at
You think it's not? You think it's 90s?
Why is it? No.
Oh, no,
it's-
definitely not. It's like 70s.
1978.
Holy
So
shit.
why is it popping back up? Why is it people?
Maybe
why do people
is there a
know it?
dance or something? Maybe.
That'd be
Probably. No.
It's just a good song. It's just like a really good song.
But
And I know that's like
not
preference.
something that's not relevant. You can't just say
Bro,
it's a good. There's a lot of good
something
songs.
had-
But why
something had
we're
to happen on
charting?
TikTok.
Why did everyone all of a sudden
Y'all,
decide it was a good song?
We're talking about TikTok. They single-handedly brought back ABBA to like 19-year-olds.
But
Bobby
good.
Caldwell
That's
is
like-
no
true.
surprise to me.
But I know. I'm wondering what sparked that. But that's a very
Dude, I
random
look
record.
at TikTok's Billboard charts as like pure chaos. There's no rhyme or reason. It's
No,
just,
but I mean, sometimes
it's gonna.
know.
I bet you anything. If you hit refresh, Bobby Caldwell will be off that chart.
Yeah.
Like it moves that quick.
quick. Yeah, TikTok's quick with that.
Dude, the Glee cast is number 5 or number 6. Come on,
Number 6.
Is that show even
Why?
going on?
No.
No.
Rose's Turn is number 6. I don't know what that is. Cat Janice Dance You Out of My Head is number 5. Back It Up and Dump It, Dump Truck by Kinfolk Thugs. That's not. I don't know what that is.
No idea.
And,
Neil can sing that one for us.
bro, like. No, I usually do research on this shit, but like some of them just don't pop up, you know? Like End of the Beginning by DJO. I don't know what that is. And Red Rum number 8, I'm familiar with that. YG Marley with Praise Jah in the Moonlight. I probably butchered that. And Boss Man D-Lo is Get In With Me is number 10. Do you guys know any of those, or is that?
Well,
not-
Bossman D-Lo's been charting every so often. I mean, here and there in different markets.
Where's he from? What's his deal?
I think we spoke about him.
Yeah.
The last couple episodes, right?
That was the last
Bay?
episode.
The
That was
CRG.
the Bay Area.
Oh, the Bay, yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
Bossman D-Lo was number 4 on your charts, and you were like, "Who?"
That was me.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably yeah. I haven't learned. So okay, but well, shout out to Boss Man D-Lo. I don't think he's listening.
yeah,
Shout out to Boss Man.
He might be.
D-Lo.
yeah. He might. Who knows? But
I'm
he's
gonna
from
get another
Florida.
dart in my neck as soon as I walk out of my house. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck?
Waiting for
All
you
right.
outside.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Let's go to the Apple Music City charts. New York City, Ariana Grande, and Carnival number 1 and 2. That's a pretty big. I think Ariana Grande just dropped her album. I don't know. She's all over these
Yeah.
charts right now. LA, Ariana Grande, We Can't Be Friends. I don't know if that's a club record, but I'm just gonna shout it out there.
I
And-
listened to most of the album. I don't remember there being a club track on there, but I could be wrong. I know that there's remixes coming out from it.
Yeah, her stuff always gets like remixed pretty well and edited pretty well, I feel like.
She
Yeah.
always has something. Like she's got
Yeah.
such a strong following that's pretty crazy. Really quick, on the Chicago charts, there's a song called "Yeah Glow" by Glorilla. Is that it's number 3? Is that even? I don't know that song.
I mean,
Anyone
she's
know?
been charting in a few markets. I haven't tried it yet, but it's a newer song.
It's a newer. Okay.
It's on all the Spotify hip hop playlists too. I haven't played it. I downloaded it, but I haven't played it anywhere.
It scares me every time I see the new hip hop entries. Like they come out really strong and then they just like kind of drift off and they don't really
disappear.
Hold. Yeah. So I actually have a crate that says just new hip hop hold.
Me too.
I just put it in there and I don't touch it until I see it like, all right, I have it, but if it doesn't work, and then a lot of the times
I want to know what's on that playlist.
You can just clear it out every month. You can clear it out.
Yeah,
like stuff you don't add to your actual crates.
Yeah, exactly. So
I kind of do that too.
Like Drake, Fear of Heights, I have that in there. I have Offset and Travis Scott, Say My Grace. I don't think that song's relevant anymore.
Right.
I also have Drake, Daylight. I have a lot of Drake shit in here. 21 Savage, Nia, that record. I think that's starting to come up. But like
the shelf life is just so short.
It's really the Rich Amiri. Remember we talked about that record on the last podcast.
One call. Yeah.
But I don't know if it's really going crazy, like I have it, but I kind of just hold it just in case someone comes up for those records. I don't know. That's just the way I organize it. But
yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all we got for the charts. Moving on to trending artists. Kanye is all over the news because one, he doesn't want to put his stuff on streaming, which I think is pretty interesting, and he wants to make everyone pay $20 for the record, which could be pretty smart if you really think about it. If anyone didn't hear the whole story, but Kanye is basically saying that he doesn't want to believe in streaming anymore. But doesn't he own a part of Tidal? That's kind of right.
Does he?
Yeah. It's kind of shitting the bed.
I thought like didn't Beyonce have something to do with Tidal also? I don't even know.
It's Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. Okay, yeah.
But I thought Kanye had some sort of
something to do with it.
Tidal, as well. But he basically came out and said he doesn't want to. He wants to charge $20 for Vultures 2 because that was supposed to come out last week, and we were going to talk about it. But
there's also one song on the first album that like you can't click on Spotify. I don't know why.
I think he's having a lot of clearance issues. Okay. So they like put these records out, and then people are saying that you gotta take it down. Saying, like
Carnival. Because Carnival is supposed to be Ozzy Osbourne, right? For the samples, like the Iron Man. And he ended up resampling one of his old songs that kind of redid.
I didn't know that. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, there's been a lot of. That's why I mean.
I can't sing like Neil, so I can hum it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
As of July 1st, Kanye actually left Tidal as a co-owner and shareholder.
Oh, thank you.
After a financial argument between the board of directors regarding compensation.
Thank you, Kurt Loder.
I'm just trying to spit out facts.
Yeah, man, that was great.
Fact checking.
All right, so Vultures 2 is not out, so we were going to talk about that, but we can't because it's not technically out at the time of this recording. But Vultures is clearly making an impact on the charts and everything. So I still can't play it in certain places. Like they won't allow me to play Kanye records, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but I don't know why at this point it's been 2 years. Is he just canceled in certain situations, or if it's just? Have you guys run into that recently or anywhere? Any corporate stuff? Like there's still absolutely like no Kanye.
Only events is where I run across it. All the clubs are like, keep the money in the room. However you got to do it.
And I understood it. I understood it more when it was, hey, Kanye, did all this. He's saying these things that are pretty, obviously bad, and then you're trying to play old Kanye records. It's like, it's not needed. You can kind of go around it. But when his charting, his songs are charting at number one, like we kind of have to play these records just because to stay relevant. It's not like we're trying to ignore them. I don't know what you guys do in those situations.
I haven't had any problems with it. No one's been.
You also live in Florida, so Florida's
there's no rules here in general.
Florida's a lawless land.
I did a corporate event last night, and I played a whole bunch of Kanye, and no one said anything.
This is where Jersey gets canceled in Florida now too. It's like Salt Lake City and all of Florida. He's just out.
Dude, he called it. Dude, I love Florida. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's a lawless land. You can get away with a lot of stuff.
They would appreciate you for that though. Like you canceled, they would.
You can have a pet raccoon in Florida. Did you know that? That's
totally
legal
country, man.
Yeah.
What'd you say? 5?
You could have,
Florida's its own country.
I mean,
I've looked into it. Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who moved to Florida, so
Taxes are great. Like there's a lot of pluses to Florida. Florida's awesome.
he's trying to he's trying to get Florida back.
Trying to get back in Florida's good graces.
Yeah, don't X me out, Florida. That'd be really bad. All right, Justin Timberlake's new album, Everything I Thought It Was. Have you guys come across anything? You guys, I know he's
comes
all
out
over
Friday, right?
Yeah. Have you guys gone over any of his records, or just? It seems like it's all slow, kind of.
Yeah, it's all like cool vibe stuff, but I don't think there's going to be any like club stuff on there.
I mean, I like the album. I can't play anything, but it's like some good Justin stuff out there.
Yeah, good music.
Yeah,
it has a lot of cool people produced on it. Like Calvin Harris was on it, Timbaland's on it, a bunch of people.
Whatever happened to the dance record? Like the fun, like the Justin Timberlake, the first 2 albums. Like I know you got to evolve as an artist, but like there's still a need, I feel like, to have those kind of club records, the fun records. Like these are more like, okay, sit back in a listening vibe,
yeah, chill and listen.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's just
Justin album, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Is it just because you just get older?
He's older. I mean, that's the thing. He's definitely older now.
Yeah, I don't know if you just become more mature and you're just like, hey, I'm done with that. You know, those club records or those party records. I want to do something.
We get some
more.
Cazes edits.
Yeah, we'll make some edits for you, Jerzy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
It's kind of like I think it's kind of similar to like how like Bieber evolved also. Like,
but Bieber still has dance records. Like he evolved, but
they're like on the albums, but like the albums as whole like definitely are not like huge dance records.
True.
But I agree.
Yeah.
There are records on it that are club. Like I do agree with you on that.
Bieber will have some slappers in there where you're just kind of like, okay, either I can remix this or I can play it just the way it is and it goes off.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Peaches, when Peaches first came out, I don't think that was necessarily like a club record, but it was such a big song that everyone started singing it and it turned into a club record. Like it didn't have the standard club, feel to it, but it turned into that big powerful record. Okay.
Yeah, there was tons of remixes and edits too, like that made it even more
massive. Yeah, that vibe is just all right. Beyonce going country. You guys, obviously, we talked about the Texas Hold'em record. Is her album out yet? Did that whole album, that project come out? I was wondering why she was wearing a cowboy hat at the Grammys. I didn't understand that, and then I found out that she's doing a whole country project. Cowboy Carter. Oh, that's the name of the album. Oh shit.
Oh wow.
So it is. Dope. It's full.
She did a house album. Yeah. The last album was House, right? She did a house album.
Yeah, it was a house.
She's doing a country album.
It's coming out in March. The second act for the megastar's 3-act project, Following Renaissance, is out in March. So I think if that's what circling back to what we were discussing earlier about the country movement, I think country's always been there, but it becoming a little bit more mainstream with people that I don't think country may not have that stigma like it used to, when people kind of were just, country music, I hate that, or it sounds like very what's the old school country, like, is it what did they used to call that back in the day, like honky tonk country or something like that,
like country versus like pop country.
Like slow. I think it's changed, and I think you're seeing Beyonce do a country record that that's kind of opening doors, I think, for a lot of other people to accept that and kind of go down that path. And then, I mean, she's from Houston, she's from Texas, so it's not like it's totally left field. I don't feel like she's jumping onto a movement or anything. She's just, I think it's a good thing for her.
But she's the 3-act projects. Like the first act was House, second one was she's doing country, and the third one's gonna be rock, right?
I thought it was a 3-act of a country, like 3 different.
No, I think it was like, I forgot. I saw something about it. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I could be wrong though, so I don't know.
What's crazy is like she's charting on this.
I think third one's gonna be rock. If I'm not mistaken, I think the third album is gonna be rock. So
I've been saying Rock's going to make a big comeback, man. Rock is.
I mean, it's bubbling still. I mean, right now.
You know what song's killing it is that Benson Boone song that's like charting everywhere.
I just said that. What is that? What is
dude,
that?
It's that's probably like one of my favorite songs that's come out this year. It's so good. Like it's nothing. It's nothing I'm playing in a club. It's Neil. You're up. Sing it.
I was like, sing it. Is it anything like Bobby Caldwell?
No. It's the beautiful things I've done one.
Is it slow?
It starts out slow, but it goes into it has a huge hook. Like the hook is huge.
Yeah. Have anyone done any remix on
I looked. I wanted to play one, and I looked, and there's no good unofficial ones. I looked for an hour.
Yeah, there's techno ones out.
Yeah, nothing good. Yeah. The Chainsmokers are doing an official remix of it, though. I think.
Oh, sounds about right.
They've been teasing it. Yeah.
Nice. Dude's from. He's 21 from Washington. He has this killer mustache, but I didn't.
Yeah, no, dude, check this song out. It's awesome. I mean, it's nothing you're gonna play in a club, but it's a good record. It's really good.
Just wait for the remixes. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I was like, Benson Boone, I don't know what that is. Moving on to the EDC lineup. I'm not sure if you guys saw it or if you're willing to go. Has anyone ever been to EDC? Any of you guys?
I haven't been to Vegas.
I mean, a long time ago.
You never been to Vegas in your life?
No, EDC Vegas.
Oh, okay. I was like, holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, use that life is beautiful.
I was like, there's so many cool things. Okay, you get chicken fingers from here. All right. Anyway, so you guys have not done EDC or 5. You did it once, you said.
I did it. I actually did the one in LA before they moved it to Vegas. So we're actually planning on going this year. So
no shit.
We should all rent a helicopter.
Did you guys see the lineup at all, or anything stand out to you?
I mean, it just looks like every
festival,
all things EDM is in there.
Yeah, you can't even read. You can't read the graphic because I don't know if you see the graphic. It's crazy.
It looks crazy.
It's
whoever made that. I want words with them.
It's all fine print.
But there's Graham Funky does the disco thing.
The silent disco? Is there a silent?
No, it's not silent. It's like a disco party. Graham does for Pasquale. Yeah, so I want to go for that too.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I never did EDC, and I've actually never been to EDC.
Is Neil frozen?
No. See, that's the thing. I'm actually looking at the graphic Cazes is talking about, and I'm mesmerized.
It's crazy.
I tried to read it.
I'm like,
dude, it's unreadable.
Whoa. Yeah, it's unreadable. I'm trying to make sense of this without falling into a K-hole, but
yeah, you feel like you're on drugs before you're even there. It's crazy.
There's 800 artists, and I don't know where to begin with what type of who we're seeing, where we're going, and everything. I'm actually shocked that they can fit all those people in on a weekend. There's just a lot, but it looks good. I mean, it looks like shit. If you're buying a ticket, it's worth the money. What about Ultra? Yeah. I mean, speaking of Miami, I know Cazes. Is that a big thing out there? Is it more tourism?
Ultra's
bigger than
big.
EDC? Is it bigger than EDC?
I think people-wise, I think EDC Vegas, is the biggest, isn't it? For EDM. I could be wrong, but I think EDC Vegas is a little bigger. But Miami does Miami Music Week, so it's a whole week.
What's the difference between Ultra and Music Week?
Music Week starts on that Monday before. Ultra's on the weekend. And it's basically just label parties throughout the whole week. Yeah. So Garrix's record Stamped will just they'll take over a whole hotel pool, and they'll have a party from noon to midnight. And basically every day, every single hotel pool has these parties. And that goes on.
Just EDM, or is it? You're saying music?
Ultra and Miami Music Week is all EDM for the most part. Okay.
So no labels are trying to push other.
Yeah, there'll be some local parties and stuff like that, but as far as the big Miami Music Week parties, it's definitely EDM leading.
So okay, so it used to be Winter Music Conference, right? Now it's Miami Music Week.
Yeah, that's what they used to call it.
And then Ultra just got so big because they used to be together, or not together, but around the same.
Ultra
weekend.
Was during Winter Music Conference.
Yeah.
I mean,
it just wasn't as big as what it was.
Yeah, Ultra is still technically during Miami Music Week, because Miami Music Week is that Monday through the Sunday, and Ultra is Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, they kind of brought it back together now. Yeah.
So I think at one point they separated the weeks. I remember that because it was like pretty controversial, and then they realized it just helped.
Better together.
I don't know it's just what everybody knew.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as far as like the ultra lineup, it's pretty similar to EDC Vegas. Like, I feel like once you reach that like top festival, you gotta have Tiesto, you have all kind of the same people. It's really the biggest difference is like what your cool like add-ons or little B2B kind of things are. Like, I don't know if you remember like earlier, I think it was the end of last year or early this year, like when Fisher and Chris Lake did like that LA Street thing. So like Ultra has that. They have like Fisher back-to-back, Chris Lake like under construction.
It seems like EDC's doing that too, where it's
I saw they had EDC did John Summit back-to-back Green Velvet, which was like a cool one. So besides, that's kind of like at this point, that's the biggest difference like lineup wise. Besides that, the lineups are very similar.
I think Dom Dalla and I want to say John Summit were doing something together. I'm not sure if it's a song.
Yeah, they do something always. It's called. I think
so.
Always and forever.
Something like that, or everything always and forever. It's something like that.
Everything always.
Yeah.
No. Well, I want to get out to Ultra and I want to get out to EDC, but I got to be in a secure. I'm just really. I get really antsy when there's too many people like bumping into you, and like if you don't have any type
100%.
of. I'm not bougie. Like I don't need VIP. I actually like going to festivals with just sitting with like the GA, because you can see people. You can actually for Lollapalooza in Chicago, they'll give us these wristbands and stuff like that, and they'll be like, all right, you go backstage, and it's the stupidest shit I've ever. People are like, yeah, we got backstage. I'm like, dog, like the speakers are facing the other way, like you can't hear anything. It's terrible. You can't see it. You can't.
What's the backstage with all the barbecue though? I like that backstage.
Oh, that one. That's
I
like
want to go to that backstage.
No. That's like the Platinum Lounge where you get like they have unlimited food, and that one's cool because you actually have a viewing area. But there's other backstage passes that don't. There's so many different wristbands you get for this thing.
Yeah, there's tons. There's like the Tito. No, I'm talking about Tito's is ACL. Never mind.
Yeah, no, Tito's has one too. It's the same.
Okay.
The same guys who do ACL
right?
produce.
When you like go to Ultra, there's like a poster with all the wristbands. It's got to be like 30 wristbands or something.
Yeah, you don't know, and I love going to festivals, but I like to be in a controlled atmosphere. Like I don't like if you put me in a pit, I'll just lose it. Like I don't know. My biggest worry
is the whole point of a pit.
No, man. Like what happens if like
I'm just saying.
I have a squirrel bladder. Like my bladder is the size of a squirrel's. Like I have to go to the bathroom every 30 minutes, like just like Neil was just talking about. But you put me in the center over there, first thing I think of is how close is the nearest bathroom. I don't care about anything else. So those are like my concerns about being in those environments. Like I can't do it. I just
look,
and
Jerzy, the pit is chaos. If you just
you're not in a pit. You've never been into a pit.
If you pee on somebody, that's just adding to the chaos.
It's good to go.
Just get involved.
My first experience at Ultra, I do not want to pee on somebody. I don't want to come back to you guys and be like, how was Ultra? I'm like, dude, it was great. I had to pee on somebody just to.
Bro, I bet the other people that are looking at the pit while you're peeing on somebody is like, yo, man, this shit was crazy. Dude pissed on another dude. Shit was wild. And that will make sense. If somebody told me that story, I'd be like, it's the pit. I get it.
I'm good. Yeah. If we're gonna be peeing on people, I do not need to be at Ultra Music. So good luck to everyone else that's going. All right, quick picks. Let's move on to your top fives and records that you are playing out. Who wants to cover this first? You know what? Cazes from Miami.
Am I going?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you're gonna go first on this.
All right, I'll go first. Let's see. I picked these kind of based off what I've played recently, so like kind of more like housey, big room stuff. With spring break here, and then the week before that, I was in Boston, Atlantic City. So I got, in no order, John Summit and Halo Shiver. It's like Summit's new record, goes off.
Fuck, you got me.
It's real good, but also.
Got me too.
HMC did a little HMC club edit of that one, which goes right into the hook. So that's good if you're in like a room where you don't want like the break or anything. Diplo, Hugel, Julia Church, High, the Rick Wonder edit. That one goes off. Again, Rick is him and Beat Breaker don't miss, but that's a really, really good one. Tiesto, Tears for Fears, Nico and Sway, Rule the World. That's been working really, really well in a lot of these rooms.
Tears for Fear. Is that
so Tiesto like he basically, I guess what happened was they got the sample cleared, so it's an original song, but it's Tears for Fear. It's like the original vocal.
Oh my god, it's one of my all-time favorite songs.
Dude, it's funny, man. I played that on Wednesday, which was a younger crowd, like I was saying, and everyone knows the words to it. I don't know if it's...
Younger kids know Tears for Fears.
Just to be clear, one of my all-time favorite songs is...
No one's doing TikTok dance to Tears for Fears. No one's doing TikTok dances to Tears of Fears, bro.
I don't know. I don't know why everyone knows the words, but everyone knows the words of that one. I'm still playing out a lot Murder on the Dance Floor, but I guess that Getta remix just came out, and that's been like a pretty good version of that one for me. Definitely more in bigger rooms, but then the Danny Diggs did like a disco-y edit that I've been playing like in other rooms. That's really good at that still. And to throw a hip-hop one or two on there, FTCU, the Nicki one, that's still working everywhere for me.
Yeah. Still working,
and Rich Baby Daddy is still working pretty well.
Ain't
sweet. All right, I'm gonna go next because you guys are gonna send all my records to the I just know you're gonna say everything. So I hit Sugar too. James Hype drums, the Beat Breaker
going off
edit. I like that record. Kanye, Good Life, the HMC 2024 edit. I feel like you guys, HMC puts out a new edit every year of Good Life, but this one's really good. And the Beyonce Texas Hold'em. I've kind of been squeaking that in towards the end of the night, and it's been going pretty well. So I we'll see if it moves up.
You playing the original?
I'm playing the original. I just wanted to slide it in there to see if it kind of got any type of reaction. And the girls were screaming. It was cool. So yeah.
The kids are screaming.
Nice. Kids are screaming.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I can go next. I'll have a few guys because I've been moving all week. But the fart song.
Oh my god!
The fucking fart song.
I can't believe it worked for you.
It doesn't work for you.
And I have a crate called New Stuff and Edits, and I just do it in the flash drive. And I saw what happened. I was, I was like, they're feeling it like this is in Boston. They're feeling all the new stuff. Let me just drop this, and boom, and they're singing the hook and everything.
That's wild.
That's awesome.
I think did I say Carnival last time? But I mean Carnival.
I don't think you did.
Beyonce Energy. I know it's from the last album, but I mean it's been a banger for me for some reason.
Energy? Wait, was that from her dance album?
Yeah.
Renaissance?
Yeah.
Why did you pull
it's like an up-tempo track?
It's an up-tempo track, and I heard it. My girl was playing it in the car. I was like, damn, this song sounds good. And I want to, I never really played it in the club, and I added it, and
people know it too.
Yeah, people know it. I mean, wow. It was
they knew
more
enough.
Like a hip hop crowd, like R&B crowd. For edit wise, Bodak by Fade just came out, but we've been playing it out, Eric and I, everywhere, and it's a ballet funk house vibe.
Oh, you guys did a record? It's on HMC. Oh
Bodak, shit! Exclusively on HMC, and is a banger.
Awesome, man! Congratulations, you guys! Everyone, go play that.
And that's my list, guys.
Very sweet. Neil Jackson.
That's me. So no surprise.
Really quick, are you wearing a Magic City sweatshirt?
Dude, every time I want that fucking hoodie. Fuck.
That's amazing.
I just noticed that now. I'm like, guy.
That's actually from Magic City, or is that at Etsy? No one uses.
Oh no! This is from Magic City. I had my boy Weapons out in Atlanta when this was a while back ago. Yeah, no. I flew in. I made him right from the airport. We went straight over there, and I bought it.
Wow.
They have a gift shop outside of the club. It was
you're at a strip club. You're at a strip club and you go to the gift shop.
You didn't even go in.
Yeah,
you didn't even go in to get lemon pepper.
No. I actually one day when I strike it rich, I'm gonna order that on Gold Belly. They do. Magic City is on Gold Belly, but the lemon pepper wings.
You and every time you wear that hoodie, and Hannah Kim, our friend Hannah Kim, has a LRG collab like jacket with Magic, like LRG Magic City. I don't know when and where she got it, but
No, I didn't even know
wears
that. Big shout out to Woody
Yeah, guys.
and Millhouse.
I bet you anything Woody has something to do with that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm
Woody,
sure.
Millhouse, and Kev D. But anyways, your records you're playing out.
Oh yeah. We're talking about music here.
Don't talk about the titty bar anymore. Yeah. Go ahead.
So top songs I'm playing out: Kanye, Carnival. And I know you guys talked about it a while back ago, and I kind of indicated that it was starting to do something here. But 310 Baby Soak City is big here now.
Oh, nice.
It's so crazy how it took a while for it to travel.
We talked about
all over
Soak
the
City,
East
and
Coast.
remember, it was November. We started talking about that.
Yeah, it's a hit here now. John Summit's Shiver and 21 Savage Red Rum. I only have 4 right now.
Hey, that man, thank you for participating. That's all we needed from you.
That's all I can do. That's all I can do.
That's all we need to do to keep this thing going. All right.
You one up me.
Well, this is the real segment that Neil, this one's called Ones to Watch. And Neil, do you want to describe this because you're the one that came up with it?
So Ones to Watch is like, being that music is like so regional, I just figured that like there was like certain ones that like Soak City, you guys were talking about it for a while, and like it just started to bubble up here. But there was also things that I was talking about, like 41 Bent, biggest song in New York one of the biggest songs in New York right now that's a local artist. But a lot of people didn't really know about it. And I just figured that we should start like a section where it's like, in your guys' areas or the things that you've experimented with, what are the things that are slowly bubbling or that you kind of hope bubble, or, stuff like that. So once to just keep your eye on like your playlist that you've got of things to try. Like,
yeah, I think what he was trying to, to elaborate on what he's saying, I think it's also, there's new artists that are starting to bubble. If there's songs that are just creeping in that you're kind of like, hey, I'm seeing a lot of this thing on social media, this person or whatever. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work or whatever, but I think it's a good conversation to bring up, being like, hey, we talked about this artist 6 months ago and now he's on these charts or he's on the mainstream side of things. So I got one. I think. Tell me if I did this right, Neil. Since this is your segment, his name is Bert.
It's like Bunt, isn't it?
Bunt. Oh yeah.
Bunt.
Okay, I'm reading that. I am doing that really wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I spelled that wrong. All right. So it's Bunt, and I thought that his shit was. It was like something I saw on social media. It was like pretty random. Somebody was like, "This guy's like." He's killing it, and they're showing his parties that he's throwing. He's doing these like really random pop-ups all over. Like he just was in Chicago, but he was like at a hot dog stand or something like random, and he has like 400 people show up, and it's like a rave. It looks like a boiler room set, and it's just popping. And I feel like the music is kind of like a stutter house. I don't. It's kind of like Fred again.
It's like, I was just gonna say Fred again.
It's like Fred
sounds
again,
like the UK sound. Like
yeah,
UK
but his
garage
like
sound.
And I think he's from overseas because I think he has an accent, but he also he was playing like open format too, and I thought that was pretty impressive because like I've seen Fred again, I've seen these guys just kind of doing the originals, but this dude was throwing in some hip hop records and some other things. So, and the crowd was it was wild. So movement wise, I feel his name is Bunt, right? B-U-N-T.
Yeah, B-U-N-T.
With a period.
Period.
Yeah, B-U-N-T. Period. Okay.
Period.
Cool. Yeah. So it's not burnt or whatever I was saying before. Bunt. Bunt.
He's got a lot of listens on his Spotify. So
I don't think he has that many followers on Instagram or anything. Not saying that's like something to gate. Like you need to
5.4 monthly listeners on Spotify. So he's got a little traction.
Yeah, I mean, Wowz has got 124 million.
Yeah, this dude's moving, man. He's cooking right now. So if there's ones to watch, that's somebody that I would think. I think he'd probably be really good in a festival situation. That's somebody that
I've seen his name popping up on some stuff, like some festival lineups and stuff.
If you look at his shows, he's doing like a tour right now. His shows are in like random locations, like just not necessarily like a venue, a concert venue. They'll be at a mall, like an abandoned mall. He's doing like a party. So I thought it's a cool approach, and I think it's kind of a different way of attacking like the music scene. But that's what I got. So whoever wants to take.
I mean, he got playlisted on Mint. That's
what I was saying. He's popping up all over Spotify. He's like Fred again, and BKAYE, however you pronounce that. He's kind of like that genre also. Like euphoric-y stutter house or whatever you want to call it. Like kind of like faster house music, I guess.
Okay.
Bunt. Yeah, he's from Germany. I'm just looking at this right now. And it's also a baseball term.
They fucking
So you
rave
don't-
out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
This guy's he's cooking right now. So all right, Neil, what do you got for your
That
segment?
dude, that you nailed it. That was
Did I
it.
do it right? Did I do it
Yeah,
right?
you did it right. You did
All
it
right.
right.
Damn.
For my ones to watch is Schoolboy Q's whole album. I don't know what the single's gonna be, but everything on that album is solid.
It's been a minute, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since he came out, but his album is fire. My boy A Minor down in Charlotte, North Carolina, and also my boy June in the Bay Area put me on to Boss Man D-Lo, but the song's called Finesse, and that's what
Shout
like a
out
lot
to June,
of
by the way. June's a homie.
yeah, big shout out to June. That's the athletes are listening to that song in the locker rooms apparently, so that's one to watch. I still think Rich Amiri, One Call. I'm starting to see that on a lot of people's Insta stories as the song that they're picking. And Yeet, Psycho CEO.
Is that working?
And no, these are just ones to watch. Like it's starting to trend now
Yeah.
that I'm starting to see. And Don Toliver, Bandit.
I thought Bandit was I dropped that from my thing. I thought that I liked it when it came out, but I was like, I haven't.
But when it comes out, it takes a while for it to actually like take hold. Unless you're like
Kind of.
Kanye.
Yeah.
Or your beat breaker making an edit. It's not it's not always going to be number one right out the
Yeah,
gate.
we need these guys to do an edit or something.
Just wait for the beat breaker edit. It's good.
Yeah.
Beat breaker edit. Don Toliver, reach out to beat breaker. He'll get you on. He'll crank out a number one edit for you. So those are my ones to watch.
Lovely. Cazes, what do you got?
I think because of how much John Summit and that stuff has blown up, I think a lot of these house people this year have the potential to kind of cross over mainstream. Somebody that I think is killing it right now and is making some noise is Clooney. I don't know if you know who Clooney is.
Yeah,
I actually DJed with him. Me of all people, I DJed with Clooney, and I don't know why they put me on that ticket, but I was. It was they were when we played a tech house, and I was like, this was like 3 years ago, and I did a tech house party with Clooney.
Yeah. I mean, he has that song that's huge on TikTok right now. It's called Sippin' Yak, and he basically just put a video out of him playing the song, and it went super super viral, and it wasn't even supposed to be released, so they were like rushing to clear the sample.
Wow.
And I think it's finally supposed to come out like in a week or so. But I mean, I think the video came out months ago, and everybody's just been using like the live sound. Like there's not even like an actual track yet for people to use, and it's blown up.
Shit.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah, he just got. They just gave him a residency in Vegas actually.
No shit.
Yeah.
Maybe at
Was it Live?
It lived. They did. Yeah, it lived in Vegas. They gave him one.
Yeah, I think Liv got what Dom and
Dom Dalla and him. The other one that I'd say the house guy kind of going into the mainstream a little bit is Hugel. Hugel. Like it's a lot of these like kind of like girls like it because it's got like a little like Latin flavor to it. Like that's how I would describe it. A lot of like Latin samples and stuff like that.
A lot of energy. Yeah,
a lot of energy. I mean, Hugel, I play in support sets. I'll play it in a regular club. I'll play that stuff works everywhere. That Tra Tra
like
song,
out there,
yeah, especially here. That Tra Tra song is really big. But yeah, those are. I think it's a big year for like some of these house guys that are going to get a little more like mainstream recognition.
Nice. 5.
Well, this guy has been on my radar for a minute because Nick
Woody.
Ferrer, A&R Nick Ferrer, actually put us up on him. But 4 Bats. But this week he just got signed.
Bro, I never heard of him.
What?
I didn't hear him until a week ago.
Wait, I still don't know. Who is it? Is he from LA?
I don't know who he's from, actually.
They call it like toxic R&B.
Yeah.
Who's coming up with these genre names?
For your fucking nails. Like,
Dude, it reminds me of like Mixtape Weekend. Like the early like weekend shit that like somebody would be playing at 5 a.m. at an after party in their living room, like that type of shit. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, he's on OVO. He's on OVO.
He just signed
just
OVO.
got signed like a couple days ago, maybe like last week.
Right when they dropped the song with Drake's verse on it. That's actually a remix, but he was already kind of trending.
That original song was already popping. Yeah.
Before
Wait,
that
so it's
was actually going to be on my ones to watch too.
Yeah, no, that's a 5. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So he's R&B?
Yeah,
They call it Toxic R&B. It's basically like, it's kind of like hood rap, but in an R&B version. I guess Drake has always been doing Toxic R&B, but yeah.
Would you say The Weeknd's Toxic R&B?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Not now. Back in the day, though.
Yeah.
What would you call The Weeknd now?
Pop.
Happy R&B.
Pop.
I mean,
Not so
I think
toxic.
I think pop
toxic.
for sure.
I mean, I got Tyler, Truth or Dare.
Oh.
I mean, ones to watch. Well, we're talking about artists though, but yeah, the song to watch.
No, that works.
It's gonna be a big record. Sorry,
Cool.
working here and there.
Anything else? Is that you got those two?
That's all I got, but
Hey man, that's all, I had one. So, and I was pronouncing the guy's name wrong the whole time.
so I got for me, buddy.
That works. All right, sticky situations. 5 emergency songs that you would do to bring back a dance floor. So if you fucked up and you played some record that from Neil's last section over there, ones to watch, and no one knew what it was.
Yeah, that's actually
I'm just using like
lineup.
real. Yeah, I had to do it.
Yeah, it's
that
the
way.
perfect lineup.
Okay, so what's a sticky situation? Like, what song would you throw in to bring back a dance floor? And this can be of all time. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be like, hey, this is the way I took it was if you're playing a set and maybe Drake or whatever, but like Drake works, but if you're playing in certain rooms, Drake sometimes they're like, okay, cool, but it's not going to bring back a dance floor.
Right.
So what are some? I'll go first since I've kind of did this. Crazy in Love is kind of like always a pocket like
On my list. Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh shit, yeah. Bring 'Em Out, Trey Songz, the Say Ah. I think that always kind of works. And then anything with Fat Man Scoop, it's always been.
Wow, really?
Okay. Still?
Yeah, it doesn't. He's on my dude. He recorded an intro for me. I still like. I go crazy on Fat Man Scoop,
I
man.
barely play Be Faithful, but
I do not. I don't have a set without Be Faithful or something with Put Your Hands Up or like. I mean, they're not like the original versions, and they're kind of. I think the older versions are not really mastered.
yeah.
Like now there's newer versions of them and they sound really good, but I'll throw something in there with that.
Yeah,
energy.
for sure. So like if you're playing like you drop Ice Spice,
The fart song?
fart song and it flops, right? I feel like if you follow it up with like Nicki Minaj Starships will work.
Super bass. You
Yeah.
got 'em.
Super bass.
Yeah.
Same
All the
BPM.
cheese. All the cheese.
Or like even if you're playing newer, reggaeton, doesn't work. Okay, play Gasolina.
Yep.
Ooh, Gasolina.
Plain
yeah.
Jane always saves the
a good
day
one.
somehow. I had Crazy in Love too, and
Rats.
Icona Pop.
Damn, that was my other one.
I don't care. Work
Every
anywhere.
time, anywhere,
I'm
it
like-
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Neil, you want to shoot?
Well, I've only got 2 now. No, I'm just kidding.
So I like to go first. I just want to knock that out and be like, yeah, you're not
Sorry.
going to burn me.
No, I mean, I've outside of Crazy in Love, because I had that on my list, and Icona Pop, I love it. I also had that on my list. Sheck West, Mobama.
Oh, that's solid.
Okay.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Gimme Gimme, ABBA.
I had that.
Murder on the Dance Floor.
Whoa.
Is that working like that for you?
Oh yeah.
It works.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I've
working,
actually-
man.
Yeah.
Are you playing I mean, it works for me, but it's not like a song where if I lost everybody, I play it and people are like, fuck yeah, we got to come back, man. We just got to start dancing.
Oh
no,
no!
like I don't,
I've had people storm a dance floor because I played that song.
Especially in New York too. Like
Yeah, I was gonna
Like
say.
a
I feel like it's like a
disco-y,
New York
funky
disco
sound.
thing. Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
at like a like LA spots too. I think it will work.
Yeah, it's just like the disco vibe, and that's like really big out here.
Yeah.
yeah.
So and We Found Love is always my back pocket. If all fails, just hit it right at at the beginning. You're good. Yeah. It doesn't matter if I'm playing Future. If I just slam that song in there, and we're gonna go that direction now.
Okay. I respect that. Cazes, Miami, go ahead, man.
I honestly, like, this situation, I always think of the songs that like require like force like crowd participation in a way. So like I always think of Pursuit of Happiness, Aoki remix. There's like a real good like slam in kind of edit that's perfect. This is kind of a little more of a wild card one, but it always works. It's this Seven Nation Army with the Freddie Mercury sample. Where it's like the AO that never fails.
I think CRG did that or some. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot.
There's a lot. I think the one I have might be DeVille, but there's a bunch of them. I used that shit as like an intro for a long time, and when I like retired it, I kind of then used it as like the emergency thing. I got Hotel Room by Pitbull, the original or remix. It's cheesy, but it works. And anything Taylor Swift.
What's your name 3 Taylor Swift songs your go-to? Just
Love Story is good. You Belong With Me is good, and Mine is good.
Mine?
It's an older one, but all the girls sang it.
Nice. All right, guys, this is kind of great segue to sneaky slappers. What you got for this month? Any slappers? Go ahead, somebody.
I'll go. Mine, there's actually 2 I have to credit 2 other people for. I happened to walk in and I was like, oh shit, I need. Oh damn, my god!
Flying?
How you get balloons?
How did that? I don't know.
I get a thumbs down every once in a while. I don't know who's doing that. Sorry, if you guys are
wait,
just
the
listening
thumbs
to
up.
the
I
audio
do
version.
know about the. Wait, you have to do that, and it does it.
Yeah, this weird. Sorry, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube,
there you go. I did it.
Why did I get a thumbs down? Or I don't know.
Maybe Scratchy's like remotely controlling this shit.
Yeah,
definitely have to. We definitely have to clip that.
If you guys are listening to this, like these like weird icons start popping up on the screen, and Neil's talking, and balloons start floating out of nowhere. So it was kind of alarming. So go ahead with your slappers.
Okay, so I got to credit 2 different ones to 2 different DJs that I happened to walk in. I was like, this is going back in my crate. My boy Turbs out here in New York. Big shout out to Turbs.
Yeah,
he did Forever Young.
Ooh,
Jay-Z, the Jay-Z one.
Yeah, and had the whole crowd singing.
That's good.
No shit.
And then my boy Even Steve, I was DJing with him over at this one spot called the Palace, and he played Katy Perry "Hot and Cold." And everyone knew the words to that song. And that's like a Katy Perry song I just don't think about ever.
Never.
Yeah.
Everyone knew that song.
I Kissed a Girl is another one of those, like, kind of
Katy Perry. Yeah.
But that was the one that was one of the ones that put her on the mat. Hot and Cold was like kind of like,
it's
at
pretty
least
big,
I don't remember it being like as big as,
I was doing radio at that time. That's massive.
It was massive.
Yeah, massive. It's just it just kind of got buried because you got Firework and all those other ones that were kind of like, Firework was obviously probably her biggest hit, but Hot and Cold was she was on a heater for a little bit.
Dude, you could put Firework in sticky situations too. Like that's another one that just doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You could play that in any room; it doesn't fail.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing for a basketball team, and
right, then it fails.
Also, Passion Pit, Take a Walk.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it was. So I even have a video of it. It's surprising that people knew that.
What's the age? Okay, before you just, how old are these people?
Fresh out of college. I mean, 20.
So it's a younger
20s.
crowd.
Yeah,
and they know Passion Pit like that.
Yep.
You were saying like all that stuff's been popping off in New York though, like MGMT and all that, like kind of like dance indie stuff that was big. It's coming back. Yeah.
Time to Pretend is huge. I even got a request for that at Little Sister. Like it's a big song, but Saltburn brought all of that stuff back.
That's what I was gonna say. It's because of that.
90? Is that or is that an early where does that take place? Does it take place in that, or is it just a soundtrack?
I think it's just a soundtrack. I don't know though.
Yeah, it's the soundtrack. Like that's where Murder on the Dance Floor got big.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
the
So it
closing
must
song.
be it must have all those records are from the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. so
Yeah,
that makes
like 2005 to 2010 is that era of like indie dance stuff.
Can't Stop Me Now, Queen.
That's awesome.
I just slammed that
sense.
song.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you play that? Just in the regular
just
version?
slammed
Right
that
from the
song
one.
in.
Yeah.
Where do you go in and where do you come out of with that record?
Beginning now.
I mean, I'll slam into another one. We Found Love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta play that. You gotta play that shit all the way through.
Yeah,
Then
you gotta play. There's no mixing out of it. You just
Then it
you
goes
just
right
get
back to
out.
the other segment of how do you revive a dance floor is
No.
Jersey,
No, this one-
that song's huge at John Boy in Chicago. That's like a top part of the night, man. When you play that, it's huge.
It's a big song.
That is
Yeah.
a
It is
great
like-
running song, though.
Yeah.
I ran many miles to that song.
okay. You run
very
to that song?
inspirational.
That's your
Like when I'm running up the mountain, I'm like, oh shit, don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a Bro. Next time you guys go on a run,
The visual
on
I just
and-
got is nuts.
just fucking next time you go on a run, just that part where that
my
part comes
God.
out.
Holy crap.
I can see you with like a sweatband and everything,
Ain't no
just going up
stopping
this.
me.
And my last one is Money Long, Made for Me.
Oh yeah, we talked
I'll
about
make
that.
a left turn and do a slow song if I know that
What is
everyone.
that? What's Money Long? Do you
It's
know?
a slow song.
But
It's
is it
a
old? I don't-
current slow song.
Really?
It's charting. It's charting in a lot of markets right now.
Okay, that works.
It's not. I believe it's number one in New York on Shazam charts. It is. Where is it at? It is also on the top. It's like in the top 50 for Billboard's top 20, I think. Like it's charting in a lot of markets though. If it's like within the top 10s. But that's a song that for some weird reason everyone knows all the words to it, or a lot of people know all the words to it.
Well, all right, we got that one.
I thought it was Mooney Long, but
Mooney
Same
Long?
thing.
I don't know.
As long as the song is the same song as Money Long. That didn't really matter. As long as
What
it's
is
the same one.
What is five? Why don't you go?
oh man, I don't know if I did this right, but Holy Grail Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
That works.
It works. Like people sing along, and I
It's
sometimes
another
I let it
dance
play,
floor saver
sometimes-
too.
You said that you just had it works because white people sing along. What did you?
No, people sing along. People in general, like even the kids, they sing along, and sometimes I'll let it play or go into something else.
Okay.
Katy
what
Perry,
else?
Teenage Dream Works.
That's a good one.
It could be that's a little sneaky one. Yeah, man. Victoria Monet, Party Girls. You guys familiar with her? She won a Grammy too, I think.
Oh,
nice.
Her
Yeah.
other song, the single that she's got, is a big one too.
But this one's more. It has this one with Buju Banton on it. It has like a little reggae vibes. I think I might have talked about the song already, but yeah, it's banging for me. No one really plays it in open format clubs, I don't think. But
Cool.
and that's
That's all you
I
got. All right.
all you got
Cazes.
for me,
Go ahead.
I got One Direction, What Makes You Beautiful. There's some good edits of that. I play the Rebus edit, but you can play that original song and people sing it.
Yeah, I played the original. Yep.
Yeah. I got Love the Way You Lie, Rihanna. Just dropped that from the one right on the chorus. I've been doing again Chainsmokers Roses.
Yeah.
I have like a cool little edit with Chili Peppers Under the Bridge that goes into it. And like in a nightclub setting, you kind of can make like a little moment out of it type of thing. Yeah, it works
I like
pretty
moments. Yeah.
well. Yeah, you know. And what else do I have? I've been playing like Kings of Leon, like Sex on Fire, Use Somebody recently.
Yes,
Rock's coming back, guys.
I just
Yeah.
recently heard somebody play. Is one of the Kings of Leon songs, and I was like, damn,
Yeah,
okay.
there's a really good Sex on Fire remix by Nitty. I think HMC added it. I think that's where I got it, and that's worked pretty well in a lot of different rooms. That's what I got.
Is that all right? I will run through mine really quick here. I have Gwen Stefani, "Sweet Escape." People like to sing that woo part, I think. And then I got ABBA. Here's one. All right, speaking of ABBA, SOS. That SOS song. I'm not sure if you guys ever played that, but SOS was a slapper for me. And is anyone playing, like, this was my question, is anyone playing like boy band type records, like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? Are those going off? Okay, so they're going. I'm just wondering if there's like a. Does NSYNC work better, or is there only certain NSYNC songs, or is it like? I had somebody request one, and I was like curious. I was like, oh shit, maybe I should go into that.
I had a request too, in this past weekend actually. I forgot which NSYNC I played. Whatever was on my flash, but that I think certain songs, but let me see. Oh, "Tearing Up My Heart," obviously. That's
Tearing Up My Heart, yeah.
And it worked. And then I went to the Backstreet and then the Kanye version.
Are you guys playing that Everybody record? Anybody?
The Kanye version?
Real quick.
Yeah,
really
the Kanye.
quick.
Yeah, you only really do the hook.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody has it. Just haven't
Yeah.
really put that out. Well, that's a good segue to our next section, Kanye slappers. I'll just read mine really quick. These are ones that are left field Kanye records that you may not necessarily think to play, but they just go off. Good Morning works really well. Workout Plan, especially now with everything being
I haven't
that
played
kind
that
of
in a minute. Yeah.
yeah, like, you know, with like the Ice Spice and stuff like that, those records, Workout Plan works pretty well. And then Get 'Em High, I still, you know, it's a different part of the night. And then Bound 2. So that I just kind of play that dun dun dun, you know.
Yeah.
I saw someone play that recently, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like everyone sings it.
Yeah. But like those are.
I haven't seen that forever.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to go next for the Kanyes?
Anyone?
I'll go. I got Heartless.
Ooh.
I Wonder. That's always been a favorite of mine.
You love I Wonder, yeah.
Yeah, love it. Dark Fantasy.
I had that one.
Waves.
That was good.
And I got Waves.
Waves. Oh yes,
Is that 5? That's 4.
that's good enough.
I also made like 10, a list of 10.
No,
So
no, you're good. No, it's good.
Stronger,
There's a lot.
stronger actually works now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Cazes, why don't you go?
I had Dark Fantasy.
I had that too.
I feel like these are like slappers, sneaky, not really. I mean, All Falls Down like goes off every time. I had Get 'Em High also. I feel like everyone does that where they just like bring back that part. Like that works pretty well. And then I had Gold Digger, which like isn't super, it's not really sneaky or anything, but it just works.
Dude, Gold Digger, I was playing some like college kids parties and they kept asking for Gold Digger and I didn't understand. I'm like, where is that? Like, why? That's the most random thing.
No way.
It just kept coming up and they were like, yeah, you gotta play Gold Digger. I'm like, why? What's so? And some reason Gold Digger's going off again and I didn't understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too because I feel like you play that and you like let all the verses go. Like people want to get to the end. It's like,
Yeah,
But it's a throwback now.
yeah.
it is. 5, what do you got?
Well, I had a Flashing Lights, but you guys picked it. Hell of a Life, Diamonds, which is like big for me again. Well, I do like a mini Kanye set. So Diamonds from Sierra Leone, Wouldn't Get Far. That's a game record, but I think the Kanye verse hits on that one. And then again, that's all I got, guys.
Just so you guys know,
I
5
love,
was
like-
moving.
like the
so
middle-
I was
the
literally
middle
about to say that same thing.
no, 5 has been moving and yeah.
Oh, you know what? This other one I play. I know, like it just came out like a couple years ago, but I love it. But the Backstreet Boy version, which You know,
I didn't even know that there was a edit.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's Lil Pump, Backstreet Boy. You know, what's it called?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me why you're such a fucker.
Oh my god!
I've been running that one a lot.
Wow, I kind of forgot about that song. That shit was big when it came out.
Yeah, but you know, it's a little troll edit, but
Nice.
it works.
Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all for me, guys.
Awesome, guys. Sneaky slappers. That's a wrap. Now let's. This is the moment that Cazes has been on. He had to put up with all of our shit for the last 5 segments, and we're getting to his right now.
I was having fun.
The hot seat.
This is it,
That's
man.
where you
Put the
shine,
spotlight
baby.
on him. Yeah, Scratchy. Like turn his mic up. Whatever you got to do. If you want to spin around your chair.
My lack of mic because my computer couldn't open it.
Yeah, that was a different story. But if you want to spin around in your chair, you know, kind of like they do in The Voice and shit, you know, give us a little twirl. But everyone, please welcome Cazes from Miami. Okay, cool. That was good. All right.
We need to get some sound effects in here.
Dude, we could barely get our computers to work, and we're trying to put sound effects on here. Okay, so Cazes is from Miami. He is, you know, he travels as well, and I think for us, we really want to talk about just kind of, you know, just the different shit that you have to go through constantly because you're all over the place. Not only Miami, but you're traveling. But then when you come back to Miami, you're playing so many different rooms. You're playing the lounges. You're playing the big rooms like Live, and you're playing the pool parties. And it's just there's so many different scenes, I think, in Miami, and I think that's why we wanted to bring you on and kind of discuss the different genres you have to go through to cater to your audiences, and I think that's pretty important. I mean, you were just talking about how you do spring break and everything else, so I guess like kind of for people that are not familiar with Miami or never been there or just never really partied there, can you describe, you know, kind of go over like what the scene is like? You know, I think the ethnicities, like the culture and everything like that, the different groups of people that are out there, because that makes a big difference in, I think, what you're playing. So you can go ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think like the first thing, like to start with that is like how there's so many different areas that kind of like helps break it down a little bit. You got like in this 5-mile radius of Miami, it's like Miami Beach, downtown, Design District, Wynwood. And then you throw in on top of that, like you said, like all the different ethnicities. I don't know the exact number, but I think I read somewhere like Miami is like 60% Hispanic Latino now that lives here. But then you have to remember on top of that, like with tourism, like there's a ton of like Europeans here. So I think each of those areas kind of has like its own little identity, like people wise and music wise. Like if you're in Wynwood, a lot more of that area is Latin. So if you go out there, you're going to hear a lot more Latin stuff. If you go to the beach, you're going to be around more tourists. So you're probably going to hear more of like the normal bottle club kind of stuff. Downtown and like Design District have a lot of cool, like more like eclectic kind of spots. I guess kind of music similar to like what Neil's saying's popping off in New York now. Like a spot like Sylvester or something like that, where you basically will go out and you'll hear in the same room, you'll hear MGMT, but you'll hear Future, like kind of like that type of thing. But yeah, I mean, as far as like areas, I think that kind of like sums that up. I see you were talking about languages spoken. You're kind of just supposed to be able to speak Spanish here, and I can't, so that's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, I got kidnapped in a Uber one time.
No, it's he's not Spanish. Like the Uber thing is crazy. Like trying to get an Uber here is difficult. But
they brought me to the loading docks of the airport when I put in airport, you know, in my Uber.
Oh my god,
dog! I was with UPS and FedEx guys.
I was gonna say you were by the FedEx planes.
Yeah, I was by the FedEx planes. I'm like, bro, I'm not taking a FedEx jet to Chicago. Like, what are we doing here? And I'm trying to explain. I'm like, dude, my plane was boarding and I was running late. It was just a mess. But yes, the Uber situation with being fluent in Spanish would be very helpful.
Yeah, literally.
Would you say that you just touched on all these little districts and everything like that? Is there one that's a little bit more on the forefront, and then there's one that's kind of like of music or just culture and stuff like that? So if you go, hey, like this area is too poppy and too touristy, but if you go to this scene, you're gonna get all the new shit, the cool kids. Like, is there a divide between that, or is it just kind of mixed everywhere and depends on the venue?
I feel like it's kind of mixed. It depends on the venue. I think there was a point where Wynwood kind of was that area. Like, Wynwood was popping. But as everything happened, a lot of money started going there and stuff started getting knocked down and new stuff started going up. So I think that kind of ruined that a little bit, because that definitely was that, I would say, at least before COVID, maybe even a little bit before COVID, that was kind of how Wynwood was, like, really cool spots.
It seemed like it was
there.
a trendy area. Like, even for us here, people were like, oh, you got to go to Wynwood. That's like where all the shit is. And that's where everyone was saying, it was like things were opening up in Wynwood. And then ever since then, I've been hearing more things that are closing down over there. So it's kind of
and I think on top of that, I think a lot of the stuff in Wynwood now, I don't want to say like all of it, because there are still cool spots in Wynwood, but a lot of them kind of fall into that like no identity thing. Like, they're kind of just like another more like Latin leaning club or bar where like you can walk down the street and go into another one and it's the same. You're not really getting anything different. I do love like 1-800 Lucky in Wynwood's awesome. That's like a more like eclectic music spot also. Whenever people like visit here, I always tell them to check that out. It's a cool spot. But as far as, more club stuff, like, everybody thinks Miami has a ton of clubs, but we were talking about this a little bit before. After COVID, a lot of the smaller clubs closed and never reopened. So as far as like big bottle club wise, like Miami, you really have like Live, Space, and 11.
And those aren't really open format rooms either, for the most part, right?
It just depends. I mean, Space definitely isn't. Space is all house always. 11, I'd say out of all those, 11 and Live are definitely like open format, depending on what night you go and what artist is booked. But they're both obviously like more like artists pushing venues. But we used to have, I think you guys have probably played at some of these like Wall and Basement and all those kind of spots, which were more like local clubs.
Love Wall.
Yeah, Wall was awesome. More like local, smaller kind of cap rooms. And after COVID, those didn't reopen. And I think like that more like super lounge kind of took over. So that's where you're seeing like stuff here like Komodo and Swan and just more rooms like that are kind of like sort of filling that void, but they're not really full-blown nightclubs, but you can like do bottle service. So it's kind of like a little different. Are they
restaurants? Are they kind of like hybrid, like restaurants that switch to nightclubs?
So they don't switch because they're different rooms. So like, it's basically like the bottom part is a restaurant, and then the story above it is the lounge club.
Kind of like Tao. Yeah, it's like Tao.
Yeah, exactly. Similar setup to that.
Yeah. Okay.
So those spots are probably the closest thing to like a more like local nightclub. Like, they're still tourist, obviously. They're definitely more tourist leaning, but I don't know. Miami's like kind of always say like Miami's like in a weirder spot, like nightlife wise. Like, I think a lot of the eclectic stuff's doing well, but the more like bottle club stuff is kind of fallen more into like tourist area for sure.
Yeah.
Would you? My other question would be like, playing for tourists versus locals, is there a certain way you approach the night? Is it different because you are in a major? I mean, I think Vegas would be the only other comparable in the country that's similar to Miami, where people kind of go there to go out. And do you approach your sets differently, or do you have to play differently for locals compared to your tourists?
I think it depends, because I think if I'm doing something like if I'm at Strawberry Moon or Live, I think I'm more catering like what I'm playing to what artist I'm with. So it's kind of like more on them to kind of cater, to Miami if they want to, that kind of thing. But I definitely like, I think just knowing like if this isn't working, like I have Bad Bunny, like I have like all those kind of records that like we were talking about like dance floor saver type stuff, like those are ones that like now they'll work anywhere, but they really work here. So I definitely, I wouldn't say I like cater to tourists or don't cater to tourists. I think I kind of cater more to the venue.
Can you play the same? I'm not saying you do this, but can you play the same set every single night? Because for instance, like there's certain cities like I've played in where it's the same crowd every time, Vegas, you can do the same set back to back to back, and no one's going to know the difference except for the staff.
Right. You'll
But
just
can
piss
you
the
do
staff
that?
off.
Yeah, but like, can you do something like that in Miami? Are you getting a completely new crowds every time, or is it pretty much you get a lot of regulars and like Chicago, we get a lot of regulars?
Yeah, no, I think it's, especially for like the more lounge spots, it's definitely more regulars. With Live, it's definitely a lot of tourism, so you could, but I kind of like the thing with Live or Strawberry Moon is when you're like playing support for these artists, you have more of the ability to kind of like, you know, take some weirder turns because
Risk,
you're trying to think of how to explain it. Like, they're not really there for you. You're just kind of setting the vibe for like that next person. So they're willing to listen, and like, you know, it's not like you have to just fire off hits, but I think there also is that area where you're realizing you kind of do need something to like keep them in and bring them in. And that's when you would play a lot of that stuff.
Does the different areas like, you know, you're talking about South Beach versus downtown versus Wynwood and Fort Lauderdale. Which area is South Beach? I'm guessing is the more tourist area. Is downtown more local, or is it have they kind of everyone just migrated to different areas now? Is it just a blend everything?
I mean, there is definitely people that'll go everywhere, but as far as like, you know, historically looking at it or how it is right now, I would say like the beach is obviously more tourism. Downtown has a lot of like cool like cocktail eclectic spots popping up, like I was talking about. Wynwood, more Latin for sure, but they also have a lot of cool eclectic type, you know, stuff like that. Like they open like there's a couple like all vinyl spots that have opened here, which are really cool. Like Dante's is really, really cool.
Dante's.
That's right outside Wynwood. And then there's one more downtown. I can't think of the name of it, but I've gone there a couple times. But yeah, I mean, I think as far as catering music, like you were saying, I think it really just depends more like on where you're playing as opposed to like a tourist versus local thing. Because at the end of the day, sure, you know, Strawberry Moon or Live, it's more of a tourist spot, but there's still people from Miami there every weekend.
Got it. What about the when you have like spring break right now, are those crowds kind of taking over everything? And you know, for a night like, you know, you said you played on a Wednesday, that's clearly a spring break night, but like on a Friday or Saturday, do you see the rooms change because of spring break in big events? I know even not even spring break, but you have like, you know, the big parties, like you have Ultra Week, you have F1 now. There's so many things that happen in Miami. I think, you know, are you catering?
I feel like there's just like a higher energy like in the city when that stuff comes through. So like, you know, like when Music Week's here, everybody's just kind of excited to be here. F1's the same way. F1 was huge. Like the first year it was here. I think that's probably like one of the most fun nights I've ever had playing in Miami. Like I played, that was when Story was still open. And yeah, like the energy in Miami that weekend was crazy. But I don't know if I'm like, I don't want to say I'm like catering to spring break, but you are going like a little bit higher energy because obviously like, you know, similar to like you were saying when you play those Boston spots, like that's just what they want. You can kind of feel it. Like they're like, you know.
What percent of your sets are like, I mean, because it's a huge Latin market, what percent are you playing of Latin records in Miami?
In the more like lounge rooms, it's definitely a lot higher. Like I would say those rooms really like depend on the night too, you know, because it's like if there's 6 tables in those rooms and 4 of those tables want Latin, that takes that whole room over. So then you might be playing 50 or 60% of that, where like, you know, on a normal night, I'd say maybe like a 30-10 random, like 30 hip hop, 30 Latin, if that, 30 house. Do you have to look at the room in a way like, all right, there's majority of this room is Latin, or if it's like, do you kind of cater to that side of things? Because if you're playing in a predominantly a mixed room of, you know, everything, you're not going to cater 60% Latin. No, you know? and so that's kind of like, it's similar to like what you guys have talked about in the past. Like I think part of it also is like playing in the right room. Like I would not be comfortable playing in an 100% Latin room. I'm not comfortable playing in like a 50% Latin room, right? So I think it's just realizing like what you're good at, and especially with Miami with so many kinds of venues and it's so eclectic and everything, you know, I think I realized my strong suit was like leaning towards the housey stuff. So I started playing more of that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, you have to cater sometimes, but I try to avoid like putting myself in that situation where like I'm going to be super uncomfortable playing that room. Cause obviously
What
like,
about,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
I was gonna ask,
yeah, go ahead.
The Afrobeat stuff and I'm a Piano, like are those big records? Do those go out well out there, or is it?
Some of the I'm a Piano stuff works well in the lounge, like in lounge settings. Afro House is killing it in Miami, which is
Afro
essentially
House?
it's super similar to I'm a Piano, but it's a higher tempo and the drums are a little bit more like there's an actual like kick drum in it and stuff like that, where I feel like I'm a Piano is kind of missing that sometimes. A lot of those records are big, and there's a lot of like SoundCloud remixes of those records that people like love, that, you know, like unofficial releases and all of that. So I definitely play some of that. Afro beats I don't play a ton. Okay. I know people that definitely do, but I personally just don't play a lot of it.
Does so what are some of the biggest, if you're going to Miami, all right, so you're, you know, so and so from wherever city and you're DJing in Miami for the first time, what are the records, some of the biggest songs that you have to play, maybe like locally, that would translate, kind of giving the local people that, like, you know, that little wink or that head nod, like, all right, cool, he's got it, you know, like he understands
I feel like that's such a hard question, because again, I think that really comes down to like what room you're in. Like, I don't think, to be honest with you, like, I'm not playing in those kind of rooms where it's like you're gonna drop stuff like that unless someone, like, I don't know. I mean, like, obviously, like, Miami people, like your Rick Rosses, your DJ Khaled's, like that type of stuff, people know it. It's Miami, like it hits. Like, you can drop old Rick Ross and all that type of stuff.
Do people know? That's what that'd be my question. Kind of like, if there is a Miami anthem, like, you know, there was Miami bass music, and there was like Rick Ross, and then there's all these different people that come out of Miami.
Pitbull.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that's the other one. Like, it's funny, but
do they get more shine? Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of people think like Pitbull is cheesy, and like sometimes I kind of like almost think that too. But like, people here love Pitbull. Like, I guess it's just because obviously he's from Miami. He's a product of Miami. And it's similar with like DJ Khaled. Like, he's just a product of Miami.
Say that, yeah, Khaled or something like that. Are those anthems? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of that stuff's huge. But I honestly think the Latin stuff, that the people aren't from here, obviously, you know, they're from other spots, but like your Bad Bunny records, your Ozuna records, your Fade, like all of that type of stuff. You know, I think you can drop any of that in Miami in any venue and it works.
Can you just drop a whole Bad Bunny? Because like Puerto Rico's clearly closer to you guys than it is for me. But is it, you know, are you getting such a I think Bad Bunny's
I still get the phone
massive
thing.
Movement.
Like the phone thing it's still a thing.
We still get it.
It's
can
still
you play
a thing.
like any Bad Bunny record out there and it just goes off, or is it you still got to pick and choose to which ones that people know, or is it?
I think if you're in a room where like people want Latin music, I truly think you can play any Bad Bunny record. Wow. Yeah. It's kind of crazy, man, because like I don't personally like listen to a ton of that music, and I'll check, you know, Billboard charts, HMC charts, Spotify charts, whatever. And I'll grab records and grab remixes, and, you know, I'll play them through and be like, this, you know, it sounds good, whatever. And I'll drop the record and I'll get a crazy reaction. And it's like the weirdest thing, because it's like, you don't even know the record, but everyone in the room knows the record. You know what I mean?
Where do you get your music from for Latin? Like, if you had to hit some Latin stuff, would you just listen to what other DJs are playing out there, or and seeing what works? Because
stuff like that, but also charts. I mean, like I said, I'm not playing rooms that I'm playing like crazy Latin cuts. So it's like I can kind of get what I need just off like what's big, you know, on the Spotify Latin charts, HMC Latin charts, like stuff like that. It's enough for me to like play my sets.
That works.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have any music questions you want to ask Cazes since he's here?
No, I think you covered it.
No, I think you
Neil?
covered it.
Guys, I did a lot of homework. I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I really tried to dissect
No,
here.
it's crazy too, man. Because I told Jerzy, like, I think you could have 5 different Miami DJs like on this show, because there's so many pockets, like guys that I love. Like, I always talk about, like, I love Cass, like K5 is one of my favorite DJs, but the way I play and the way he plays and the rooms we play in are completely different.
Or even
like
Dizza, right?
Yeah, like I don't know Dizza, but I know a lot of people that know him, and it's very like interesting with how big Miami is, how different like pockets are, and I think some cities you can kind of play like all of these different rooms, but like I'm definitely more known like in one pocket, and Cass is known in a different pocket, and so on and so forth. So it's like he'd be the guy who, he'd be able to talk to you about crazy Latin records, but I can sit here and tell you like, this house record works or this doesn't, or vice versa.
Or this Taylor Swift record is doing really good for me.
No, 100%.
I don't think any of them know as much about Taylor Swift as you do. So
I got you, Jerzy. I'll send you a whole Taylor Swift playlist.
Yeah, I mean,
he already has it. He already has
Jersey's
that.
already got it, man.
All right. What is if what are some good tips you would have to give somebody if they're going to Miami the first time, besides people like me need to wear a lot of sunscreen? But other than that, like, dude, I get torched out there.
There's a whole bunch of good shit to eat and drink here. I know that's Five's favorite thing to do here.
Yeah, man.
Oh, what's that Cuban restaurant that
Bro, there's a lot.
There's a million
no,
of them.
there was like one that you get the empanadas from. I guess that's being very vague.
There's 3 places to get empanadas at the airport.
Yeah.
Okay, there's this like famous one.
The more like touristy famous one's probably Versailles.
Yeah, Versailles.
No, something else. It's in South Beach.
Oh.
Oh man, there's
Porto Segua. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you
that's
say
the one.
it?
I don't know,
there's
man.
so many, man. There's like a little place right by where I live called like Enriqueta's, and it's been the same owner for like the same family. The original guy like passed away, I don't know, a little while back, but it's been there since like 1940 or something.
What are some spots that you? Yeah, what are some spots that you want to, like, if someone's going to vacation in Miami, or if they're like, where should they check out, or what's some things they need to try?
I think like cool places to drink and stuff. I love Broken Shaker. It's like a cool cocktail bar.
Yeah.
I think they came out of New York, actually.
I think New York's the original one, right?
LA. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, LA has it.
Yeah.
We have one?
Yeah. Chicago has one.
Yeah.
They had many old fashions there.
Yeah, it's a cool spot.
Boy a Day.
That's on my list. Boy a Day is amazing.
Every time Five comes to Chicago, and he knows more people than me. He hangs out at this guy. I'm like, how do you even know these people? This guy's like, oh, you tried this place yet? I'm like, no, I never even heard of it. He's eaten everywhere.
Dude,
he knows everybody.
I guarantee you, I wrote down these food spots. I guarantee you Five's been to all of them. All right, you ready? Boy a Day.
Boy a Day.
Okay.
3 times.
Coat,
plenty of times.
Jaguar Sun.
It was which one?
Jaguar Sun.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Write it down. That's good. That's a real good one.
Wait, in Miami?
Yeah.
I've been there. It's good.
It's awesome.
Very
like
good.
pasta, really good drinks.
Yeah.
I like Uchi. That's like in a bunch of different cities though.
Uchi, yeah. There's
That's
one
in
that actually
Texas.
just opened one in that. Yeah, they just opened one in LA too.
And then a couple like more like undercover Miami ones. Lung Yai is awesome. It's like a little Thai place.
Yeah.
And then weirdly, Hometown Barbecue. It's kind of weird. We got a good barbecue spot, but it's pretty fire.
that might be from here.
I feel like everything here is from New York.
Hometown Barbecue here was actually like a lot of pitmasters from the South are like, yo, like they know their shit.
Yeah,
It's
people
in
always
Red
joke
Hook, New
about
York.
how we have like, it's literally the only barbecue place here.
Yeah, you guys have pizzas popping out there too.
Yeah,
What?
we have
Really?
Kali. There's a bunch
dude.
of good spots.
Wow.
Miami Slice,
Yep.
which is open in Vegas, right?
Yeah, that
there's
opened in
one
Fontainebleau, I think.
Yeah, Miami Slice. Joe's Pizza, is that the one from
New York.
This one from New York, right?
Yeah, Joe's opened right in Wynwood. It's a pretty good spot.
Damn, there's one I had. I forget the name of it, but yeah. But yeah, Miami's pizza scene's popping too. Ramen,
But yeah,
popping.
I
A lot of
always
sushi now. A lot of
I always tell people like when they come here, like do like the local shit and the tourist shit, because I think sometimes you get like a bad rap of like, oh, it's tourist shit. But there's like I mean, bro, going to 11 and going to Lib's fun. Like, going to some of the more tourists.
Yeah, I could speak on the food at 11. It's actually really, really good.
It's fantastic chicken fingers.
Dude, I'm not bullshitting. Like,
it's really good.
It's actually good.
It's really good.
So I usually just go in there for chicken fingers, and I'm not even bullshitting. Like everything else is cool, but the
you
chicken
go everywhere
fingers
for chicken fingers though.
I'm a big chicken finger guy. There's a few places that I'm a big chicken finger guy. But yes, that is very true.
Cheeseburger.
But yeah, that's what I always tell people. I had the
best one, and I went to Amsterdam. I had this amazing cheeseburger. I'll tell you about that one.
In Amsterdam?
Yeah,
I would not go.
Wild, and it's a shoe store too. All right, wow. Cool, man. You guys have any other questions for Cazes?
No, man.
I think you covered it.
Yeah, man. You know what? Dude, I sit here and I grind this out. You know, I'm doing a lot of research, and you know, I'm going to ask the hard-hitting questions.
Pack coming?
Vice and me. Vice says he wants to do another one. I talked to him the other day, actually. So we're supposed to be working on it soon. I told him March is kind of crazy with like spring break and all that, but I think hopefully sometime next month, me and him will have something for you guys.
Yeah, guys, look out for Cazes edits. I play him all the time, and it's him and Vice. They do a lot together, so that's pretty awesome. And
what's the one I always play? Hold on. You made one, the Lesso one I play, and then the Calling is really good.
I have a Kelvin Harris one too. Cool. Well, awesome, man. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for being a part of the podcast, and
no, of course, thanks for having me.
Giving us all this great info. And if anyone else would like to leave a comment or leave a review, which we'd love reviews, so if you guys can mainly positive reviews.
We gotta get the reviews up.
We try. We're really trying here. So if you guys can leave a review on, I think with the Apple Podcast app, and just say something nice, say something cute, say whatever you want, but positive, right? Positive. And just leave a review, and we'll shout you out. And comments on IG, and we appreciate you guys participating in our discussions. Sometimes we're wrong and we need to be corrected, so we like to thank you guys for keeping us in check at all times. And thank you, Cazes. Thank you guys. We also got a playlist too. Don't forget, we have a earbuds playlist that's on Spotify, so if all these records that we just discussed and everything like that, you guys can go onto Spotify and hear them back. So if you're like on the treadmill right now and you're like, man, I didn't have a pen or paper to write these records down, we have a playlist for you, so you can go check that out. And I think that's it. Oh, you got a Fourth Meal? Are you guys doing Fourth Meal? Shout them out. Fourth Meal podcast.
We recorded a few episodes, and we've been having issues, but we're gonna record one soon.
We've been waiting. The streets are talking. The
streets are waiting.
Like one like crashed like 25 minutes in. It was like a 2-hour podcast. It's just been having issues after issues. So,
and I've been moving. Computer, man. You gotta get a new computer. That's
and I've been moving. So yeah, we have one coming soon. So. Cool. And look out for go download Bodak on HMC from Bodak.
Yeah,
Bodak
banger.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening, and we will catch you next month. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.